There is a way to defeat your enemies without ever lifting a hand against them. The greatest battles in life are not won through confrontation, retaliation, or anger. They are won through wisdom, character, and discipline. The most powerful strategy is not to fight, but to rise above, to let your success, your growth, and your integrity silence every opposition. An enemy's greatest weapon is distraction. They seek to pull you into their battlefield, to make you react, to get you entangled in emotions, in arguments, in bitterness. But the wise understand that the best response to an enemy is not reaction, but elevation. When they expect you to fight, rise. When they expect you to respond with anger, walk in peace. When they try to tear you down, build yourself up. You don't destroy your enemy by attacking them. You destroy them by making their attacks powerless. Nothing frustrates a person more than realizing they have no control over you. When you remain focused, when you refuse to be moved by their words, when you continue to walk in purpose and excellence, they lose their power. The more you grow, the smaller they become. The more you advance, the less their words matter. Conflicts in life are inevitable, but the way we handle them determines the outcome. Many people waste their energy engaging in battles that do not contribute to their growth. When faced with opposition, criticism, or enemies who seek to bring you down, the natural reaction is to fight back, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong. But true wisdom is found in restraint, in knowing which battles are worth your time and which ones deserve to be ignored. The greatest victories are not won through retaliation, but through elevation. When someone seeks to pull you into a fight, they are trying to bring you to their level. Their goal is not always to defeat you, but to distract you. The moment you engage in unnecessary conflict, you shift your focus from what truly matters to something that drains your time, energy, and peace. That is why the most powerful way to deal with enemies is not to fight them, but to rise above them. When you elevate yourself, their weapons become useless and their attacks become insignificant. People who thrive on conflict expect a reaction. They feed on emotional responses, on arguments, on attention. When they realize that you are not reacting, that you are unmoved by their words, they begin to lose control. The greatest frustration for an enemy is realizing that they no longer have influence over you. They may continue to talk, to plot, to criticize, but their efforts will have no effect because you have positioned yourself above the situation. Elevation is not just about ignoring negativity, it's about focusing on self-growth. Instead of wasting time responding to critics, invest in improving yourself. Instead of trying to convince people of your worth, let your actions speak. The more you grow, the smaller their words become. The more you advance, the less their opinions matter. When you are constantly moving forward, you will realize that most battles do not even deserve your attention. An eagle does not fight its enemies on the ground. When a snake tries to attack, the eagle does not struggle with it on its terms. Instead, it lifts the snake high into the sky where it loses its strength and has no power. This is how you should deal with opposition. Lift yourself to a level where negativity cannot survive. Focus on developing your skills, building your character, and walking in purpose. The higher you rise, the fewer distractions you will encounter. There is a reason why successful people do not waste time arguing with critics. They understand that their energy is too valuable to be spent on meaningless battles. Their focus is on progress, on purpose, on achieving things that truly matter. They know that the best way to silence opposition is not through words, but through results. A person who is consistently growing, achieving, and excelling does not have to respond to every attack. Their success speaks for itself. When you rise above conflicts, you also maintain your peace. Fighting battles that do not matter drains you mentally, emotionally, and even physically. It creates unnecessary stress and pulls you away from your real purpose. But when you choose to stay above the noise, you remain in control of your mind and emotions. You are no longer reacting to every challenge, but instead you are intentionally directing your energy toward growth. People who operate at a higher level understand that the real enemy is distraction. Not every fight is worth fighting. Some battles are simply traps designed to keep you from moving forward. That is why wisdom teaches that ignoring certain things is not weakness, it is strategy. It takes more strength to walk away from a meaningless fight than to engage in it. True power is in knowing when to speak and when to be silent, when to act and when to let your results do the talking. Life will always bring opposition, but you do not have to respond to every challenge thrown your way. There will always be people who misunderstand you, criticize you, or try to bring you down. But their words only have power if you give them attention. When you stay focused on your vision, when you keep your eyes on where you are going, their voices will fade into the background. Elevation is the key to victory. When you operate from a higher place, the noise below can no longer reach you. Success is the most powerful response to opposition. When people seek to bring you down, their goal is not always to defeat you physically, but to weaken your mind, shake your confidence, and make you doubt yourself. They use words, criticism, and actions to provoke a reaction, to pull you into their negativity, and to make you engage in battles that do not benefit you. But there is a way to silence every voice, to disarm every attack, and to render every opposition powerless by succeeding in what you are called to do. When you are growing, advancing, and achieving results, no amount of words can stop you. People can argue with opinions, but they cannot argue with results. When you spend your time responding to negativity, you give your enemies what they want, your attention. They want you distracted, caught up in defending yourself instead of focusing on building. But the wise understand that the best defense is progress. Instead of arguing with people who doubt you, prove them irrelevant by excelling. Instead of explaining yourself to those who misunderstand you, let your work speak. The moment you shift your focus from fighting to flourishing, you take power away from every voice that rises against you. The reason why many people struggle with opposition is because they seek approval from those who do not believe in them. They waste energy trying to convince their critics, trying to win over those who do not matter. But when you are committed to success, you understand that approval is not necessary for progress. Not everyone will believe in you, and that is fine. Not everyone will support you, and that is expected. What matters is that you stay committed to your purpose, your vision, and your growth. The moment you stop seeking validation and start focusing on results, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary battles. Silencing your enemies is not about proving them wrong with words, but proving them irrelevant with success. A person who is achieving great things does not have to respond to every critic. When you are building something valuable, you do not have time for small distractions. The most successful people in the world do not engage in petty arguments or defend themselves against every accusation. They stay focused on what truly matters. They understand that their energy is better spent on producing results than on explaining themselves. There will always be people who do not believe in you. There will always be those who expect you to fail, who mock your dreams, who try to place limits on what you can achieve. But their words hold no weight when you are consistently moving forward. Progress is the best revenge. When they expect you to quit, keep going. When they expect you to fall, rise higher. When they wait for you to give up, push even further. There is nothing more frustrating to those who oppose you than watching you thrive despite their expectations. Many people waste years fighting battles that do not matter. They spend time responding to negativity, explaining themselves, and seeking approval instead of working toward their goals. But the moment you shift your focus from people to purpose, from arguments to achievements, from distractions to discipline, everything changes. You begin to rise above situations that once troubled you. You begin to see how insignificant opposition becomes when you are too busy succeeding. The noise of critics fades when the volume of your success increases. The greatest power you have over your enemies is to show them that they have no power over you. When your results speak louder than their words, their attacks become meaningless. When you are too focused on excelling to engage in conflict, their efforts are wasted. They may talk, they may doubt, they may plot, but at the end of the day, success is the ultimate response. Nothing silences opposition more than the undeniable proof of your progress. Control over your reactions is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. The ability to remain calm, composed, and unmoved in the face of opposition is what separates the wise from the weak. Most conflicts are not won by the strongest or the loudest, but by the person who maintains control over their emotions. Enemies thrive on provocation. They want to see you react, lose your temper, and respond in ways that justify their attacks. When they realize they cannot shake you, they lose their power. The moment you react emotionally, you hand control over to the one provoking you. They dictate your actions, influence your mindset, and distract you from your goals. Many people fall into this trap because they believe that defending themselves is necessary, that proving a point is the only way to gain respect. But in reality, reacting to negativity only feeds it. The more you respond, the more fuel you provide for those who seek to disturb your peace. True power lies not in proving yourself to others, but in being so secure in who you are that their words and actions have no effect on you. People will try to offend you, manipulate you, and frustrate you, but their success depends on your reaction. If you respond with anger, they win. If you allow their words to affect your emotions, they gain control. But if you remain calm, if you refuse to be moved, they are left powerless. There's nothing more frustrating for a person who thrives on negativity than an opponent who does not engage. When you refuse to react, they begin to lose interest. Their tactics become ineffective, and they are left with nothing to hold against you. Self-discipline is the foundation of emotional control. When you master your reactions, you protect your peace. You no longer allow the words of others to dictate your mood. You no longer let criticism shake your confidence. You begin to understand that not every attack deserves a response, and not every conflict requires your attention. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Walking away from an unnecessary battle does not mean you are defeated. It means you are focused on something greater. Emotional intelligence is a skill that must be developed with intention. It requires understanding that not everything deserves your energy. Some people argue just to create chaos, not to seek truth. Some attack you not because you are wrong, but because they want to feel superior. Engaging in these battles is a waste of time. Instead of responding to negativity, use your energy to build something meaningful. The more you focus on growth, the less these distractions will matter. Your greatest enemies are not the people who oppose you, but the emotions that they try to trigger in you. Anger, frustration, and insecurity are weapons that can only harm you if you allow them to take control. But when you master your emotions, you become untouchable. No insult can move you, no criticism can break you, and no opposition can distract you from your purpose. You begin to operate at a level where the noise of negativity no longer reaches you. People who control their reactions command respect. They are not easily provoked, and they do not waste energy on things that do not contribute to their growth. Their focus is on progress, and their discipline is their strength. They understand that silence is sometimes more powerful than words, and that wisdom is found in choosing which battles to fight and which ones to ignore. When you reach this level of self-mastery, your enemies will realize that they have no hold over you. Their attempts to disrupt your peace will fail because they no longer have access to the one thing they need to win: your reaction. Distraction is one of the most effective weapons an enemy can use. When a person cannot stop you directly, they will attempt to pull your attention away from what truly matters. They will create noise, drama, and conflict to shift your focus from your purpose to pointless battles. The moment you engage, you lose valuable time and energy that could have been spent moving forward. The wisest people understand that not every situation requires a response. They remain focused, disciplined, and intentional about where they invest their attention. Purpose is the key to avoiding distractions. When you have a clear vision of what you are working toward, it becomes easy to ignore what does not serve that vision. Many people fail not because they lack potential, but because they allow themselves to be drawn into unnecessary conflicts. They spend hours defending themselves against criticism, responding to negativity, and engaging in arguments that do not contribute to their growth. Every moment wasted on distractions is a moment taken away from progress. The most successful people are not those who fight every battle, but those who know which battles are worth their time. An enemy does not always come in the form of a person. Sometimes it is a thought, a doubt, a fear that creeps in and causes hesitation. It is the temptation to justify yourself when you should be silent. It is the urge to react when wisdom says to walk away. It is the feeling that you must explain yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. When you give in to these distractions, you slow down your own progress. The key is to train your mind to remain locked on the bigger picture. The best way to disarm an enemy is to refuse to be moved by their tactics. When they see that you are unaffected by their words, their accusations, and their attempts to provoke you, they realize they have no power over you. A focused person is difficult to manipulate. They do not waste time proving themselves to people who do not matter. They do not get entangled in emotional battles that drain their energy. They do not let the opinions of others pull them away from their goals. Their mind is fixed on where they are going, and nothing can pull them off course. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their purpose from those who fall short. Many people have great potential but lack the ability to stay focused. They get distracted by every negative comment, every misunderstanding, and every minor setback. They allow the noise of others to dictate their actions instead of following their own vision. True discipline means staying on track even when others try to push you off course. It means recognizing that your time is too valuable to be spent on things that do not move you forward. The people who make the most impact in life are those who refuse to be distracted. They understand that the opinions of others do not define them. They know that arguments and conflicts only take away energy that could be used for something greater. They choose to let their work speak for itself rather than engaging in unnecessary battles. They rise above situations that are designed to pull them down and keep their eyes on the bigger goal. There will always be distractions, but it is your responsibility to decide what deserves your attention. Not every comment needs a response. Not every critic needs to be answered. Not every conflict needs your involvement. The more you learn to ignore what does not matter, the more progress you will make. Your ability to stay focused is what will separate you from those who remain stuck. The less you engage with distractions, the faster you will reach your destination. The strongest person is not the one who fights the most battles, but the one who knows which battles are worth fighting. Opposition is often a sign that you are on the right path. The moment you decide to rise, there will always be forces trying to pull you down. Some people will misunderstand you, some will criticize you, and others will actively work against you. It is easy to see this resistance as a barrier, but in reality it is an opportunity. Every attack, every challenge, and every setback can be used as fuel for growth. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they respond to opposition. Some allow it to break them, while others use it as a stepping stone to rise higher. When an enemy tries to bring you down, their goal is to stop your progress. They want to discourage you, distract you, and make you doubt yourself. But the moment you realize that their negativity is simply a test of your strength, you take away their power. Instead of focusing on what they are trying to do to you, focus on what you can gain from the situation. Every challenge has the potential to make you stronger. wiser, and more resilient. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never faced opposition, but those who learned how to turn it into motivation. The greatest leaders, innovators, and achievers in history all faced resistance. They were doubted, ridiculed, and opposed at every turn. But instead of letting that opposition stop them, they used it as fuel. They understood that success is not about avoiding challenges, but about overcoming them. The more you grow, the more resistance you will face. The higher you rise, the more people will try to pull you back down. This is not a reason to quit. It's a sign that you are moving in the right direction. There is a lesson in every attack. Sometimes opposition reveals your weaknesses, showing you areas where you need to improve. Sometimes it forces you to think differently, to become more strategic, to sharpen your skills. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, see them as opportunities to develop into a stronger version of yourself. Every time someone tries to stop you, use it as motivation to push even harder. The moment you shift your mindset from seeing opposition as a problem to seeing it as a tool for growth, you become unstoppable. One of the most powerful ways to turn attacks into elevation is to remain focused. When people criticize you, do not waste time defending yourself. When they try to block your progress, do not get caught up in frustration. Instead, channel all of your energy into becoming better, working harder, and staying committed to your vision. The more you focus on improving yourself, the less their words and actions will matter. Over time, your results will speak louder than their opposition. Every difficulty carries within it the seed of an opportunity. What was meant to destroy you can be the very thing that builds you. The pressure that comes from challenges can either crush you or shape you into something greater. Just like a diamond is formed under pressure, your greatest strength is developed in the midst of adversity. If you learn to embrace challenges instead of running from them, you will find that opposition is not an obstacle, it is an advantage. People who seek to bring you down expect you to give up. They expect you to become discouraged, to lose focus, to be distracted by their negativity. The best way to defeat them is to do the opposite. Instead of shrinking back, rise higher. Instead of slowing down, move faster. Instead of doubting yourself, grow in confidence. Every attack is an opportunity to prove to yourself and to the world that nothing can stop you. The greatest victories are won not by avoiding resistance, but by using it as a force to propel you forward. Victory is not always achieved through direct confrontation. The most powerful way to overcome an enemy is not by fighting them, but by rendering them powerless through your success. Many people believe that defeating an opponent requires engaging in battle, proving a point, or responding to every attack. But true wisdom understands that the greatest defeat an enemy can experience is seeing you rise above them, unaffected by their schemes, untouched by their negativity, and unshaken by their attempts to bring you down. When someone opposes you, their goal is to disrupt your progress. They want to consume your time, drain your energy, and shift your focus away from what truly matters. They seek to control your emotions, provoke a reaction, and pull you into their world of conflict. But when you refuse to engage, when you continue moving forward without acknowledging their efforts, you strip them of their influence over you. They may try to stop you, but their attempts become meaningless because you are too focused on your growth to be distracted by their actions. The most successful people do not waste time arguing with their critics. They do not get caught up in unnecessary battles that add no value to their journey. Instead, they channel all their energy into producing results. A person who is constantly growing, achieving, and excelling does not have to respond to every attack. Their success speaks for itself. The higher you rise, the smaller your enemies become. The more you progress, the less their words and actions matter. There is nothing more frustrating to those who seek to destroy you than watching you flourish despite their opposition. Winning without engaging requires self-discipline. It takes strength to remain silent when you are falsely accused. It requires wisdom to walk away from a fight that serves no purpose. It demands confidence to ignore those who doubt you and to continue pursuing your vision without seeking validation. Many people fall into the trap of trying to prove themselves to those who will never believe in them. They waste valuable time explaining, defending, and justifying when they could be using that energy to build something greater. The moment you stop seeking approval and start focusing on results, you become untouchable. Your greatest weapon against opposition is your ability to keep moving forward. When enemies try to stop you, keep going. When they expect you to quit, work even harder. When they anticipate your failure, prove them wrong with your progress. The best revenge is not retaliation, but success. Every time you grow despite resistance, every time you rise above negativity, every time you achieve something that was meant to be impossible, you prove that their efforts against you were wasted. Not all battles are meant to be fought. Some are simply distractions designed to keep you from reaching your full potential. The strongest people are not those who fight every challenge, but those who know which challenges deserve their attention. They understand that their energy is too valuable to be spent on conflicts that do not contribute to their destiny. They choose to let their work speak instead of engaging in meaningless debates. They refuse to lower themselves to the level of their opposition because they are too focused on their purpose to be bothered by small distractions. The greatest defeat an enemy can experience is realizing that they have no power over you. They can talk, plot, and try to discourage you, but if you refuse to be moved, they have already lost. When your success continues to rise, when your influence continues to grow, and when your progress remains unstoppable, their attacks become irrelevant. The best way to destroy an enemy without fighting them is to live a life so full of purpose, excellence, and achievement that their existence no longer affects you. The greatest victory over any enemy is not in fighting them, but in rising so high that their existence becomes irrelevant. True power is not found in retaliation, but in unwavering focus, discipline, and success. When you master your emotions, refuse distractions, and channel every challenge into growth, you render your opposition powerless. Your enemies do not determine your destiny. Your actions do. Let your progress silence their voices. Let your achievements invalidate their doubts. And let your unwavering pursuit of greatness be the ultimate response. The best way to destroy those who seek to bring you down is to build a life so extraordinary that their efforts against you become meaningless.